Elm Park Story is an exciting account of an area. It's a biography of an area. It traces the development from the very early years right through to the present day and looks forward to the future. It's packed with many hundreds of photographs, illustrations and many little sound bites of reminiscences from people who have lived in the area. It's very readable, it's very accessible because it's a sort of book you can pick up and glance, read a few pages, put it down.
And I think it's going to be of so much benefit to all sorts of different people within Elm Park. You've got the older generation who remember the beginnings of the estate. You've got the younger children who, you know, have this project, you know, the place where I live. And at the moment, there's nothing at all to give them information about Elm Park, not just the history, but the development of various aspects of community life. So I think the creation of a local history book is vital for people to learn and to share and to build on in the future as well. A book is only the beginning, really. We hope that it will incentivise people to share a bit more of their photos, their knowledge, their stories, their memories, in the hope that we can perhaps do a second edition in the years to come, and it keeps the whole community spirit alive and thriving.
Well, there's been a hell of a lot of change, hasn't there? I mean, and I think it'd be nice for the youngsters and the children coming in to see what it was like years ago as to what it is now. You know, like Elm Park, for instance, there was lots of, you just went and got out your local shopping. Now everybody goes off to the supermarket and comes out with big trolleys of shopping. That never used to happen when we was little children. We just used to go over and get one or two things.
People sometimes don't appreciate that their own area is full of history, and people may think, oh, Elm Park, it's only quite a new place. But of course it isn't, it's been around for 75 years. And I think it's to show people that scratch the surface, and underneath there's always an interesting story. And that little block of shops you walk past every day, for instance, Tesco's has just come back into this area. They've taken over the old Woolworths, and there was a Tesco's here in 1938, a little small Tesco's up the hill, and in our book we do have somebody who worked there and their reminiscences. So I think it's just that diving into the unknown and discovering, yes, even if you think you live in quite a boring place, no, that's not the case.
I mean, I worked up at Broadbrae Road when I was 15. 15, I worked in Tesco's when I was 15, and only for a couple of months when I first left school, because a friend of mine over the road, he was working there, and I just left school when I was 15, and he says, come and work down Tesco's with me. He says, we have so much fun. And that was on Broadway Parade up the hill, on the right hand side.
And I worked for the Grays Co-op. I was a baker's roundsman. I had an electric barrow that we used to plug in every night. That's making me sound really old now, doesn't it? And I had a round in Elm Park, all around Elm Park, you know, going up to the door with the basket with cakes in it and bread, and £12 a week. Fantastic.
Yeah, and you finished early?
Yeah, 11 o'clock every day.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, people ordered their bread, you know what to give them every week, but you went to the door with a basket to try and tempt them to buy some cakes, you know, so you get extra money. But yeah, because I come from the city, earning sort of £7.17 and 6 a week, and coming back to Elm Park, walking down there every day, getting £12 a week, no fares to pay or anything, so, you know, yes. I was well off.
You thought you were going to be a millionaire, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the estate started, the land was bought in the early 30s. It used to be all farmland, and the first houses were put up in 1933, 1934. The estate actually wasn't officially opened until 1935, and it was a joint opening of not just the estate but also the official opening of the Elm Park tube station, or the railway station as it was then.
The role of the Elm Park station was crucial, and Costain again was very clever. He knew that if he built an estate, he had to have the infrastructure to get people back to where they worked. So if he was encouraging Londoners to come out to Elm Park, he had to have a method of getting them back to their jobs. And about 10 years previous, he had built an estate in Croydon and had not taken this into consideration. And he had to run a private bus service for the people on his Croydon estate to the station for several years, because people just wouldn't buy the houses without access to a station.
Elm Park was built as a bit of an overflow from the East End of London to give people a new way of life, a very healthy way of life as well. Hence the subject, or the title, Garden City. Many people who lived in the East End didn't have any gardens at all, and they suffered from all the fumes and poor ways of living in the East End of London. So this was a dream, if you like, for people to come out to the environs of London, enjoy a new way of life, and for the first time in their lives have a mortgage too, which at the time, in the 1930s, was affordable in the same way that a renting was for people. And that's what made Elm Park quite special.
Yes, I was actually born in Elm Park Avenue, and then when I was about 9 months old, my mother found out she was pregnant again, and we moved to a brand new house in Maybank Avenue. It was more like a village, really, Elm Park was, and the only things we did was within Elm Park. Like, we went to the local church, and we went to Sunday school there. We joined the Junior Red Cross, and we also, as we got older, belonged to the youth club in the church, which most of the teenagers did, and where most of them met and married from. When I got married, it took me 9 years I had to move away, to move back, and ideally wanted to come back to Elm Park because that was all my life. Maybank Avenue only went to about number 110, in front of Tesco's. There was nothing like that, and that was the airfield, that was the runways. We used to watch trucks with the ropes taking gliders up and watch the line drop off the glider once it was airborne, you know. And it used to affect the television. We had my parents, like everybody else, bought the television for the coronation, and all the aircraft used to affect it.